If you go to our website and you click on events, you'll see that we have the Stop the Heroin Walk coming up, and we've partnered with stoptheheroin.org and Bill Schmincke to promote that walk and try to shed a little light on what's not necessarily always a enjoyable topic to talk about. Bill, welcome to the show. Thank you for coming into the studio to talk with us today.
Pete, Josh, thanks you very much for having me in today. Greatly appreciate this opportunity to be here.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the walk and that recovery celebration walk that's going to take place Saturday, March 25th on the Atlantic City Boardwalk. And we'll start then with our story or your story, and it involves Stephen.
You want to speak about the walk first?
Sure.
Okay. It is March 25th. Rain or shine, we're going to be out there on the Boardwalk, Kennedy Plaza in Atlantic City. Registration starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. Events will go through 2 o'clock. We have a lot of things that we'll be giving away that day, and this is an opportunity for people in the community to come out and support such a huge cause right now. It's an epidemic that's taken so many of our loved ones and friends that it's out of control. And my organization is committed to making a difference in our community.
I scanned through some of the stats, and the first thing I see is the next life that you save from the misery of addiction may be the life that you helped fund. So, of course, you can go to the website, stoptheheroin.org, and donate to the cause as well. But the big thing as well, come out and join the cause, be a part of it, and you have a personal connection. This isn't just you looking around and seeing, people who are suffering from this. You have a very personal connection.
Yes, Pete. March 25th last year, I lost my son to a heroin overdose. He was an addict for going on 5 years. My son leaves behind 2 beautiful daughters and a wonderful son that was born only 5 months ago. That's my grandson will never get an opportunity to see his father. It's a very sad situation, and we're not the only family that's going through this in the communities. And look around the country right now, it's out of control. It truly is. But my wife and I decided just after my son passed away that we were going to try to make a difference. We didn't know what we were going to do, but we really took it to the streets, and we started raising money. We started selling T-shirts, and we started getting a huge amount of support from the community with donations. And then we decided what we were going to do with the money that we started raising was to help people get into sober living. Sober living is a transition from people that are coming from rehab, and they go into these houses where they live in a house with their peers where they're not judged, and they get an opportunity to restart their life. Most of the people that my organization supports and has scholarship, the people that we're going to really end up going back to the people, places, and things where they shouldn't be. So we've been blessed to help 51 people so far. Wow. Get into sober living, and Pete. This is not my money. This is just the generosity of the community and the public that supports what this organization does.
The South Jersey area, especially, I think, rallies around good causes and causes that they feel a connection to. You see that I'm wearing my Be a Hero campaign, and so I don't know if I necessarily, can draw parallels between Bill and Muriel Elliott and Bill and Tammy Schmincke, but what I can do is say that some of these descriptions, and again, the website is stoptheheroin.org, are both captivating and very sad to me, of lines like addicts burn their bridges, they alienate their sober friends and family. The recovering addict, after going through rehab with little to no support at all, is left to just basically, and you say, pick themselves up by their bootstraps. My father would have used the phrase, suck it up,
yes.
Yes. So how have you found it to be, as you've gotten the word out? Is there a big audience of people who are clamoring for, yes, thank you for bringing this into the light. Thank you for taking some of the stigma off something that, quite frankly, and I know the governor is on board with trying to fix this epidemic as well.
Absolutely, Pete. We appreciate that the initiative that the governor has put forward. It means a lot. We're a big believer that something is better than nothing, and there takes a lot of boots on the ground to make this take this war on, and we're just a little part of it. But we have gotten a huge amount of support from the community. My organization was recognized by Atlantic County We received the Atlantic County Martin Luther King Community Spirit Award. We've been recognized by the General Assembly and the Senate, and Vince Mazzio, who's been a phenomenal supporter of our organization and has taken initiatives of his own to make a difference in the community.
I get the newspaper every day. I read the hard copy of the newspaper every day. I'm 46 years old. I'm not at that age where, what's the line? Don't buy green bananas, like when you're in your 80s or 90s, because maybe you're getting up there in years. I'm not even 50 yet. And yet I look at the obits, I look locally, and I've seen some obituaries in the last 6 to 8 months or a year where people are flat out putting in the obituary.
Yes.
Lost our son, lost our daughter, lost our child, niece, nephew. And on social media, of course, there's really seems to be ramping up. Why do you think that is, and what does that do to help?
Well, it's huge. Anybody that wants to get an opportunity to speak about it to other people and in the community, and this is where we've used the media in extremes to reach out to the public to talk about it. That it's okay to talk about it, because it's not just it's every community that this is affecting. It's from the Atlantic City to Longport to Ocean City, out to Egg Harbor Township and Mays Landing. It does this. This does not discriminate. This is a drug that wraps around someone's life and doesn't let go until treatment is had. And of course, that's a big issue too. Is when the active addict is ready to get treatment, that there's lack of open doors for them to get treatment. But we've been fortunate to become a resource to help as many as possible.
Bill Schmincke is with us from Stop the Heroin and stoptheheroin.org. Again, their big recovery walk, the Recovery Celebration Walk, is going to be Saturday, March 25th on the Atlantic City Boardwalk. If you'd like to find out more information about that, you can go to their website at stoptheheroin.org. A couple minutes ago, and I was, kudos to you for holding it together as you speak about your son. I'm sure that the more you speak about him, the easier it is to do without just breaking down.
It's Pete. It's really not. It's something that's in our life every single day, and it's sad. And I can tell you that there's not a day go by when me and my wife don't sit and cry together. To sit and watch my granddaughters, cry and are concerned that they're never going to see their father again. It's an extremely sad situation. It really is. It doesn't get, obviously I've never been in this situation, but
there's no playbook, right?
No, there is not. And, we look for days to say, is it ever going to get better? But we don't know. We've talked to people who have lost children 15 and 20 years, and including I've met with Mr. Elliott, and he kind of said, he's told me that you just kind of get used to the hurt. Our motivation is not to see other families going through what we're going through today.
Amen. Very much so. So I did notice that you spoke about sober living homes, and the sober living home that's in Pleasantville has an apropos title.
Yes, we were blessed to be able to open our own sober living home back in December, and it's named after my son Stephen. It's called Stephen's Place. Today it is full of 10 young men working the program, wanting to get their lives back together again. It's a blessing to go into that house and see the and see the inspiration of that these gentlemen give each other to continue their recovery. It's heartwarming, to say the least.
StopTheHeroin.org is the website. Stop the Heroin, and the secondary line is helping people transition from rehab into sober living. And some of the sober living facts that are on the website are staggering. Relapse rates for people leaving the detox range from 65% to 80% 1 month after discharge. Those provided drug-free recovering housing, coupled with the intensive day treatment program, they could be up to 10 times more likely to stay abstinent than those released with minimal assistance. That's from the Society for the Study of Addiction. I said something to you a second ago about there's no playbook. And everybody grieves in different ways in that respect. But I guess in a way, do you feel like with your website, the walk, the things you're doing, you're trying to create some sort of a thing that others can come to say, this is how we've dealt with this. Maybe this will provide some comfort and guidance to you.
Absolutely, Pete. We know this isn't for everybody. We've been reached out by literally hundreds and hundreds of families, parents, brothers, siblings, that have gone through the same thing that we are, and say this is not for everybody. And this is a blessing from God that we're able to do this on a daily basis. But yes, people do look to us and reach out to us to see how they can make a difference in their loved one's name. Also, we've gotten a huge amount of support from people in the same situation as we are.
And under the fundraising tag on the page, stoptheheroin.org, you list the ways that people can help. You can hold fundraisers. You can ask friends and family for donations in lieu of flowers upon a loved one's passing. You can donate on a monthly basis. There's merchandise. You're wearing your bright red hoodie, which is appropriate too because it's a stop sign, and the sign says Stop the Heroin and has the website on it. So there's merchandise as well and events, and that's the big reason we're here. So let's recap that again, what the event is that's coming up and why we jumped on board for this, and our good pal Dave Schaller jumped on board right away. I mean, we know a good event and a good cause when we see one, and this certainly is one worthy of shedding the spotlight on. Well,
we greatly appreciate Town Square jumping on, and through Dave and yourself and everybody that's associated with Town Square Media, this being able to get this event out there in the public through the airwaves is immense. I know there's a lot of people that are going to show up there on the 25th just through listening to this show and the advertisements that Town Square has really helped out. The thing that we need, the thing that runs Stop the Heroin, is money. The people that are coming out of these places have no money. There is no funding for the people coming into sober living. There's not a dollar that's available through the government or the state. So, this is all hard-earned through fundraising, boots on the ground, in the trenches type fundraising to help people. So if I can encourage anybody that wants to help out, is go to my website, stoptheheroin.org, make a pledge on there, donation. I have a saying that $1 million is not enough, but $1 just is. So it takes a lot of people to make this happen. We've been very fortunate since the conception of Stop the Heroin, like I said, being able to help out 51 people, and the money that we've raised is just staggering, and we're blessed. Please come out to the walk on the 25th. There's going to be opportunity there to meet people in recovery. This is all about them that day also, so people that they can give themselves a pat on the back for where they're at today in their recovery. But once again, this organization runs totally on the funds that's donated by the community and people who support this organization.
Now, we have to take a break in a second, but I will ask you one more question before we go to break. And we're going to keep you after the break as well. We have a little bit of a window after the break.
Nice.
So if there's people out there that are listening and they have a question for Bill, or you want to text in, 609-573-3776 if you'd like to call in, or 609-403-0973 is the text message board if you want to text in and have a question for Bill while he's here in studio. A long time ago, somebody said to me, the question you always should end an interview with is there anything else you want to mention that I didn't ask you about?
You covered a lot here. I wish one thing more we would have been talking about last night's Sixers win, but we won't be able to do that. Just again, I want to thank everybody in the communities around in your listening area. And if you get an opportunity to come out on the 25th, please come out and support this organization and go to my website, or you can go to our Facebook, Stop the Heroin, and you can make donations there also.
That's Bill Schmincke from Stop the Heroin and stoptheheroin.org. Again, we're going to keep them past the commercial break. If you have some questions or text messages or things you want to contribute to find out more about the event, you are listening to Sports Bash here on 97.3 ESPN. I am Pete Thompson, Josh Hennick pushing the buttons, Victor doing his thing over there as well. We've got 4 hours to go, and yes, we will have a lot of fun in this program, but we certainly appreciate Bill coming in. He's going to stay through the break, too. We'll be back after this.
97.3 ESPN and Stop the Heroin are hosting a recovery celebration walk Saturday, March 25th on the Atlantic City Boardwalk. Registration begins at 8 a.m. and the walk starts at 10:30.
What's up, guys? Dave Schaller here. And right now in South Jersey and in the greater Philadelphia area, we are battling a terrible heroin epidemic that in just the last 3 weeks alone has taken the lives of 3 people that I grew up with, 3 people who have kids and families who will never see them again. It's compelled me to want to help fight back.
Stop the Heroin, an organization based in South Jersey, has done incredible work helping community members battling addiction transition from rehab to sober living facilities to continue their fight for sobriety. 100% of funds raised by Stop the Heroin go directly to placing people into sober living. There's no entry fee to walk, but participants are encouraged to make a donation at the event March 25th or online at stoptheheroin.org.
Sports Bash here on 97.3 ESPN. Pete Thompson, Josh Henning, filling in for Mike Gill. Spending a few minutes with Bill Schmincke, who's from Stop the Heroin and stoptheheroin.org. Their big recovery walk going to take place not this Saturday.
That's correct.
The following Saturday. So maybe the weather will be a little warmer. Fingers crossed.
It's looking like we might have some rain that day so far, but we still got a few days.
Rain or shine.
Yeah.
I remember you said that in there.
Yes, sir.
And we appreciate our listeners out there. Had a nice phone call during the commercial break. Also had a text message, Josh.
Yeah, I wanted to read this text because I thought this was very thoughtful. A texter typed in anonymously, but says, I work at a local funeral home. You guys, speaking of you, Bill, Stop the Heroin. I've been there for recent funerals, and I can't say enough. I believe they're doing an excellent job. Such a tough situation to get these people the help they need. Kudos to the program.
We appreciate that very much.
So that's part of your MO, I guess, that you're unfortunately finding yourselves at more of these funerals.
Pete, it is unfortunate. We like to go for people that we do know and have close to. We do attend, and we're asked to come out to viewings and life celebrations to represent the organization, and we feel it's a huge respect to families. But, we have to limit ourselves. It becomes very taxing on my wife and myself.
There's only two of you.
That's correct. Well, there's other people that are involved in the organization, only a couple, but it's, that are really, really embedded in the organization that keeps it running on a daily basis. But I wanted to thank everybody that's the volunteers that are helping out with the walk. We're talking about 40, 50 people that's going to make this the event successful. We're expecting well over 1,000 people on the boardwalk that day, and this is a huge event for Atlantic County and the state. This is a huge statement to everybody. We're inviting all kinds of media to come out that day and cover the event.
There, you have 4 testimonials on your website: Ariel, Franco, Mieva, Sarah, and Kelly. Well, that's 5 actually. Yes. If I'm going to read one of them real quick right now, which one would I read?
I would read Franco. Franco was the first person that this organization helped into sober living. So, and Franco's doing fantastic today. A little shout out to him.
My name's Franco Silvestri. Bill and Tammy Schmincke, through their Stop the Heroin Foundation, gave me another chance to turn my life around. I've been battling addiction for 13 years. Heroin had been tearing my and the lives of my family apart for a long time. In the past 2 years, I got into recovery and started working a program. I did relapse in March. I re-entered rehab. Hopeless to find anywhere to go, I prayed for God to show me a way. And later that day, a fellow addict approached me and informed me that he asked his family to use their recently started GoFundMe account to place me in aftercare. I don't know where I'd be today without God putting the Schminckes in my life. Thank you so much to everyone who donated their time and the funds to Stop the Heroin. You all helped save my life, literally, and the lives of others. And that's Franco and the testimonial on there. Again, it's the Stop the Heroin Recovery Celebration Walk, Saturday, March 25th on the Atlantic City Boardwalk, rain or shine. And as Bill alluded to, we at Town Square Media and we here specifically at 97.3 ESPN could not be more supportive and behind this. How did you phrase this? You said something about let's not add to the list, or let's not, if we can help.
Yeah, you say not add to the list of people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, this is our motivation. We got to stop seeing people dying, and we're talking about an age group of 18 to 33. Majority of people that are dying from this, and there are so many people left behind being devastated. This is something that's probably going to get worse before it gets better. But it does take a lot of people to make this happen. And again, Pete, I want to thank you and ESPN Radio for having me on, and for you're going to help make this event extremely successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. That's Bill Schmincke from Stop the Heroin and stoptheheroin.org. You can find out more information about them on their website. And again, that Recovery Celebration Walk, Saturday, March 25th on the Atlantic City Boardwalk, rain or shine.